Well, the Dixie Chicks taking home all 5 Grammy Awards they were up for, including the top 3 honors in the music world. This after sales fell from their previous album. Concerts were canceled due to poor ticket sales, and radio stations pulled their records off the air after their Bush-bashing ways. Nearly 90% of you at home say this Grammy sweep won't make the Chicks popular again with the country music crowd. My next guests agree and say they only won those awards because they hate the president. Joining now, Rick and Bubba, the syndicated radio talk show hosts who are a phenomenon themselves in this country. Guys, welcome.
Hey, Neil, thanks for having us.
How you been, sir?
I'm fine. To either of you, they won a lot of Grammys, so obviously official Grammydom loves them. Is there a disconnect between that group and the group who buy these albums?
Well, Neil, there's no doubt about it. I mean, you saw Don Henley's comments last night, but the difference is Don Henley plays to a lot of people who agree with his liberal stances, and they're all just about to have a conniption because Walden Woods may go away. Unlike the country music audience who are patriotic, they love America, most of them love this president and what the Dixie Chicks said and when they said it. Of course, you know, everybody else is trying to forget about it. They won't let us forget, and that's the part that is kind of I think confusing. Most people have kind of moved on with their lives, but it seems to be the Dixie Chicks that won't let it go.
But there are many in the media, Bubba, who love to hang on to this and the Bush bashing, whether you like the president or not. And did this play any part, you think, in the recognition they got last night? Or were they recognized because, hey, they're a talented group?
Well, Neil, look at this. The Grammys fair and balanced? I don't think so. We had Jimmy Carter there. We had Al Gore there, which, by the way, if he's really worried about global warming, shouldn't he park that jet he's flying around on? You know, the fact is, Neil, their album did good. It was number 9 in the country last year, but that means there was at least 8 other choices that were better choices than these.
All right. Nevertheless, they get 5 big nominations and then 5 big victories. A very hard stunt to pull off. Normally, not all the time, but normally that translates into higher album sales, better concert bookings in the months ahead. Is that going to happen?
I don't think it will, Neil, because, I mean, again, you have to understand the Grammys are the same people that when they wanted to give their first heavy metal Grammy, they gave it to Jethro Tull, who plays the flute.
And remember, they have given a Grammy to Milli Vanilli before, okay?
Yeah, Milli Vanilli got one, and Jimmy Carter got one in this, and let's face it, if Jimmy got one, there's hope for Rick and Bubba. We've been nominated, but yet to receive ours, by the way. I think still the audience is the audience, and the Dixie Chicks don't know their audience. And you remember now, the Dixie Chicks also told us they didn't want to be in there with Reba and Toby Keith and all those people anymore.
That's exactly right. And it's interesting that a lot of the country music stars who were there weren't impressed with the fact that they won, or they could have just been bitter. What do you think it was?
I wanted to see Reba like tear every hair out of Natalie Main's head. Does that make me a bad person?
Yes, it does.
It would have made for good TV,
you
know that.
Person. Yeah. Yes, it does.
I'm sorry,
but, you know,
forgive me for that.
You know, you're right, guys. I mean, they have wanted to separate themselves from the strictly country crowd, and I know you guys have argued in the past that crowd doesn't flip over them. Would that crowd be more inclined to like them now? After all, the Rolling Stones had a very kind of a nasty song that some say took a swipe at Condi Rice and this president. Their concert tour was a very big success, so maybe they don't care. The fans don't care.
Well, Neil, I don't know if it was a success or not. They had to cancel a lot of cities. They had to reschedule into smaller venues. And, you know, frankly, the country radio stations, they're still just not testing good with the country audience. So without that airplay, I don't know how that will translate into record sales. I think people would be forgiving if they would let it go, but they're the ones that won't let it go.
All right, guys, I wish we had more time. Rick and Bubba, always great having you. Thank you both very, very much.
Hey,
Neil, thank you. Congratulations on the new channel.
Hey, and let's get our Grammy. We were nominated.
That's
Please, people, vote for us.
A travesty. Thank you, guys. Well, best-selling author Robert Kiyosaki's mantra is that everyone can get rich. Can they?